glitchy today because I don't know, my Wi-Fi was low-key tweaking in this house. But we are live. That red button on the left of my screen on StreamYard means we are live. Some Casual Takes, episode 61, hosted by your boy, Steven Pepper, here to casually talk sports. This episode is brought to you by no one, but I'm here today with Kieran. Was going to do a solo episode, but Kieran hit me up, and I'm always down to talk Kieran. Kieran knows ball. How are we doing today, Kieran?
I'm doing great.
Doing great. Football's back, so that's got to be one of the reasons why we're great.
Real football, but yeah.
None of that Caleb Williams 60-7. Nah, real NFL where games are actually, close. Teams aren't losing by 60 in the national championship. Real football is back. I love this time of year. It's transitioning to fall. We're moving out of the dog days of summer real soon. It's one of my favorite times of year. You can fire up a Sunday, and then football's on the entire day. I can't wait for Sunday. We had a little tease on Thursday. The end of the Chiefs dynasty. That's not a segment. The Chiefs are going to be here for a while. It's not a segment. But we are, of course, going to talk about the Lions beating the Kansas City Chiefs today. Team USA, as you can see by the title, lost. I don't know how they lost in the semifinal. Embarrassment. I also got a little bit on the Joe Burrow contract. Did you see that Joe Burrow signed an extension?
I did.
We're going to talk about a little bit of that at the end. A shorter stream today because I'm a busy college student who needs to grind out a bunch of homework today before the weekend, and I got some things to do. Kieran's also in school. I don't know do you have classes on Friday?
Yeah, I had 3 today.
Oh, I see the Wi-Fi symbol, so I'm probably lagging across your stream. But I didn't have any class today. I just had a lot to do, and I still have a lot to do. But I got to get you guys this stream. I don't know if you can still hear me. I'm probably moving across your screen. It's fine. We're going to still roll it. Cool. Kieran, you hit me up because you said you had to get something on your chest. Something interesting happened to you. I don't know how long ago it was. I think recently, a couple days ago, where I don't know how this started. Nate Robinson replied to you on Instagram. Can you take us through like that entire story? This is the Nate Robinson, former NBA player, like a 3-time slam dunk contest champion. Take us through the start. What comment were you even saying? What post was it? Then why did he even reply to you? And where is this taking you? And are you going to do a boxing match with Nate Robinson because of this?
No, like at first when someone told me, because someone responded to me through a comment, it's like, hey, did you see Nate Robinson reply to your Mike Evans take? And I was like, no, what did he say? So he basically said that Big Boy couldn't walk 1,000 yards, shaking my head, got the nerve to say he ain't elite, shaking my head. Man has 10 straight years of 1,000 yards a season. That's hard to do with different QBs.
Did he say Big Boy couldn't walk 1,000 yards?
I'm not going to lie. It's pretty fucking funny.
He owns you, bro. Wait, was this a TikTok? Was this on your TikTok? You said IG.
No, yeah, it was on your Instagram.
Oh, he commented on my Instagram. Let me see. Oh, this video on my Instagram has over 128,000 views. Let me find it. Wait, did you comment on? Oh my God, bro! Nate Robinson commented on my Instagram. Bro.
No,
Nate Robinson commented on my Insta. What the fuck?
The most random thing about that, I was a little thrown off because why is, out of all people, Nate Robinson responding to a Mike Evans video?
So you're telling me Nate Robinson is scrolling on IG Reels and my stuff just pops up?
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me there's a world where I could be on LeBron's IG Reel? There's a world.
Yeah.
Dude, that's hilarious. I'm not going to lie, he cooked you. Nate said he was never elite.
And Nate Robinson, if you want a boxing match, you get schooled by NFL TikToker, I'm all for it. But anyway, no. So my problem, I'm not even talking about the big boy stuff. This is about the Mike Evans stuff. And a lot of people got mad about that take. But you have to understand is that it's so much easier now to get 1,000 yards. I feel like people just look at 1,000 yards and say oh, if you have 1,000 yards, you're good for that season, which is true and not true. In 2022, last year, there was 27 receivers that got it over 1,000 yards. Like, it's such a low bar at this point. And I brought out some names, right? Because when I say Mike Evans is an elite, these are some of the names in his era that I thought were better than him. And some of these guys like fell off in like 2015 or 2016. But like anyway, so Tyreek Hill, Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, Devontae Adams, I said Tyreek twice, sorry. DeAndre Hopkins, Odell Beckham, Stephon Diggs, Michael Thomas, Demaryius Thomas, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. What do all those guys have in common? They were all top 5 at one point in their career, or arguably top 3 in their career. That's my point about this Mike Evans stuff. It's like, yeah, you can be good for a long time. But like for me, if you're not an elite receiver, because like if you're not in that 7, if you're not like a top 7 receiver, I don't view you as an elite receiver. That's what I was trying to get at.
It's kind of like the 20 point per game thing in the NBA, no? Like, or the 25 point per game. No, not 25, but like 20 points per game. Like Kelly Oubre, 20 points a game. Like, how many players were 20 points per game this year in the NBA? An insane amount. Like an insane. I couldn't get you the number off the top of the head, but it at least had to be 30 players. I do get what you're saying. The thing in the NFL now, extra game, by the way, extra game. DBs are way less handsy, more favorable to wide receivers, pat targets, more fluid offenses, all these schemes favoriting these open offenses. These wide receiver numbers are going to look good. And, dude, barely 1,000 yards is what? That's wide receiver 2 numbers. I think, like, when you see 1,034 receiving yards and you play the entire season, I think, like, the 25th best wide receiver in the league could get that. 20th best wide receiver in the league could get that. You understand what I'm saying? Bro. Yo, am I lagging or are you still there? Bro, he's like frozen. I might be frozen for him or he's frozen for me, but this is awkward. I'm going to move him. He's going to come back when he unfreezes. I don't know. He's got to fix that. But you guys get what I'm saying. So now I'm zoomed in. Kieran's back. But now he's a black screen. What is going on today, bro? It's just a black screen. I can't restart the live because that would be weird. We'll let him reconnect one more time and then we'll get going. But I do agree with what he's saying. Yes, 1,000 yards is a good feat and you'll take 1,000 yards out of a wide receiver. But in the modern day NFL, additional game, rules favoring the wide receiver, pass offense is getting more and more creative. There's Kieran. 1,000 yard isn't this huge milestone. I get it. Doing 1,000 is impressive, but you can be consistently good, but it doesn't mean you're elite. Just because you're consistently scoring 20 points a game doesn't mean you're elite. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Elite should be reserved for top 5, 7 guys in the league. And how many times was Mike top 10 maybe? Yeah, top 10 because it's getting so deep now, the wide receiver. How many times is Mike Evans up to that now? Like, I could do maybe next stream I do a would you rather Mike Evans, but how many receive? Like, where do you rank Mike Evans right now?
So at this point, I think Mike Evans is already on the decline. And I'm not saying that because of his numbers. I'm saying that actually towards his play. I thought he was like pretty mediocre before that Panthers game last year. But anyway, I would say Mike Evans is a top 20 receiver. I don't know if that's a crazy take.
No, that's a good take. But that top 20 is not elite to me. That's just like tier below elite.
You're just like good. Like,
yeah, you're just good. Nothing wrong with being good. Like, you'll take that.
Yeah, and people are getting so mad at me because, like, oh, you're calling Mike Evans bad? I was like, no, he's just not elite.
But Kieran, like, you were lagging when I said it, but 1,034 yards, wide receiver 2s are doing that today.
Yeah.
I've seen some rookies get close to that in bad situations.
The thing is, like, so the counter argument to this is that, oh, Mike Evans is such an elite red zone threat, which he is. He 100% is.
Yes.
But you have to understand when it comes to touchdowns, right? There's a lot of guys like Julio Jones, who's like the same height as like Mike Evans and faster than Mike Evans, are in a poorly ran red zone scheme that they don't have the opportunities to like get those type of touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I know this is like a hypothetical, but like most touchdowns are very scheme based, especially on the goal line. Like, why have people not seen like Mike Evans like go for like 70 yards consistently for a touchdown, or like even like 50 or 40 yards for a touchdown? Why is it only in the red zone? You know,
dude. We're gonna move on from this because I don't want to spend too long. But this is just so funny. I'm scrolling at these comments right now, dude. You got people tweeting, "It's every day, bro." Bro, how that Matt taste when Jake Paul knocked your ass out? Lil bleep. Grown man saying this shit is weird. Jake Paul ? And you're I don't know if this is like a 2023 friendly word. It refers to small people. I don't think I'm going to say it. You're a bleep who got knocked out by a YouTuber. I agree, but shocked to see you awake after Jake Paul decimated your head from your body. You got knocked out. Gang, I agree with you, but still got to get back from Jake Paul putting you down. Bodied my idol. Let's see.
Dude.
Didn't a Disney Channel star knock your ass out? I didn't see this. Dude, when the comments get too big on my post, because some of my posts have a lot of comments, I just don't read the comments that get too big. I read every if a post has like 10 to 20 comments, I read them. But this post has almost 1,000 comments, dude. I'm not reading the 1,000 comments, dude. But we can move on. Kieran, that's something that you can say. Hey,
can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
About the Mike, and I swear to God, we can move on after this.
Yeah.
Another common point is that look at the quarterbacks he's had. Well, he had Tom Brady for 3 years. Yeah, you could say Jameis was inconsistent, but he was never a bad quarterback, in my opinion. And everyone brings up Mike Glennon and Ryan Fitzpatrick. He had Mike Glennon for 5 games in his career. 5. He had Ryan Fitzpatrick.
There goes Kieran again. Bro's glitched. I don't know if it's his internet or mine, but I guess we can use this as a perfect time to get it. I get what Kieran's trying to say. Basically, what Kieran's saying is he's actually been in a more underrated situation than people make it seem. The bum quarterbacks Mike Evans been with, like the Mike Glenn's of the world, he's played like 2 games with them. Jameis Winston is actually not that bad. I think Jameis Winston was a guy who could throw 30 touchdowns and get you 4,000 yards. And obviously played with Tom Brady in the last 3 years of his 1,000-yard streak. And he hasn't even played a snap with Baker Mayfield yet, so it doesn't even count. Until Kieran comes back, how is everyone doing? I think that's the funniest thing ever that Nate Robinson was on my post, bro. If I would have saw it, I would have responded and clapped back. I wasn't dodgy Nate Robinson. I've yet to comment. This was 3 days ago, so it was actually pretty recently. Like I said, once my posts get too big, Kieran's a black screen again. Once my posts get too big, I just can't see comments, and it's just like a pain. And half the comments are hate comments too, like, bro, you're like the dumbest person ever. That's like half the comments. So like I just tend not to read them. Yeah, I don't know if it's your Wi-Fi or my Wi-Fi, but like he's glitching on mine. Because I know my Wi-Fi was acting up a little bit today. So maybe it's just on my end and just on my screen. But I can't talk to somebody on my end. It's my stream, so we kind of have to go on my end. There we go. I can see you. I don't know. Maybe it's your internet or mine. I don't know. I'll take the blame and say it's mine because mine was tweaking today.
The annoying thing is I can hear you perfectly fine. That's the annoying part.
You just freeze up for me, and I can't have dialogue back and forth with someone who freezes up. But let's move quickly as possible then, so we don't have to keep doing this 8 times again. Let's go to the Lions Chiefs. The Detroit Lions, if you guys didn't watch Thursday Night Football, why would you not? Literally the first game of the season. The Detroit Lions upset? Do I do that? Like,
is it a fluke? Is it an upset? I don't know.
Upset the Kansas City Chiefs 21-0. You guys know coming to the game, no Travis Kelce. He hyperextended his knee. He didn't play. And, of course, Chris Jones is holding out for a contract extension. So the Chiefs are down 2 of their best players, not named Patrick Mahomes. And they only lost by 1. The Chiefs had their little, championship celebration, blah, blah, blah. I don't really like the Chiefs that much anymore upon reflecting. But the Chiefs lost, and I think there goes Kieran again. What is this pod? He's frozen again. Bro, you might have to use your phone. Oh, there you go.
I'm gonna use my phone.
Hold on. Use your phone.
I'll just use my phone.
In the meantime, no, you're good, bro. In the meantime, let me read off some stats while Kieran comes back. Jared Goff of the Lions. You guys know how I feel about the Lions. I think the Lions will win their division. I did not see them winning this game until the Travis Kelce news broke, and I picked the Lions to win this one, but they won very, very close. This was a game the Chiefs could have still won without their 2 best players, not named Mahomes. Goff, 22 for 35, 253 yards, and a TD. Looked pretty sharp. Patrick Mahomes on the other side. Now, we're going to get into it later, but the Patrick Mahomes completion thing, although the box score says Mahomes' completions were bad, watch the game. You'll see something. My takeaway from this game, Kieran, is Chiefs need Kelce.
Yeah.
Needed Kelce. That's it. I'm not even talking about Chris Jones. This whole thing was about Kelce, literally.
Definitely. I will say this, though. I said this before the season. I said that the Chiefs wide receiver core was unproven. I think losing Juju, who was a guy that you can rely on to be the second fiddle, if Kelce was having a bad game, was very important. The Chiefs do not have that right now. They have a lot of guys like Kadarius Toney, and Sky Moore, who look like only gadget guys. You got Rashee Rice.
Practice squad guys.
You got Rashee Rice, who I like. He looked good last night, besides one
touchdown.
He looks promising. I would like for them to use Justin Ross because I heard that dude is super talented. He just has a lot of injury concerns. But yeah, I've been saying Travis Kelce's overrated, but I will never take this away from him. If Mahomes didn't have Kelce, this Chiefs team would not be that good. On offense.
Again, it's the wide receiver group, and they lost Tyreek Hill, obviously, beginning of the last season, but they still won the Super Bowl. And I said on my Chris Jones video, the reason why, in last podcast, I said they still won the Super Bowl because they still had Kelce and Mahomes' ability to make anything work with a box of scraps in Andy Reid's system. And I want to emphasize again, they still had Kelce. But you take Kelce away. Now Mahomes' ability to make a box of scraps work at Andy Reid's scheme almost still won the game. Mm-hmm. But they just didn't have Kelce, and it showed. I mean, Kieran, this is very Chiefs, not Chiefs-like. They lost at home. They lost an opening week. Mahomes has never lost opening week. Mahomes threw a pick opening week. Never done that in his career. I think he was 11 touchdowns, no INTs coming in this game on week 1. I mean, a lot of it has to do because I think he shredded your Pittsburgh Steelers that 1 week for 4 touchdowns. But
that was week 2.
Oh, that was week 2. Sorry. That was week 2.
He also threw 6 touchdowns, but anyway.
I think that was his MVP year where he threw 50 touchdowns. The Chiefs were 5 for 14 on third down. Kelce's there. That's not 5 for 14. I also saw many drives where the Chiefs had to settle for field goals. Chiefs had to punt because they get in these third down situations. No one's open. No one's dependable. Kelce, you know what Kelce likes to do? Hit that little comeback route, maybe a little route to find the soft spot on the zone, find the first down. Kelce makes it happen. He just wasn't there. So who could Mahomes rely on? You said Juju was an underrated part of the team last year. Juju's there. Maybe he relies on Juju. You're not relying on Sky Moore. The hell? You're not relying on MVS. Dude, you're relying on dudes who could actually be starters on the XFL to dot up routes on third downs in a big game. No.
Yeah. And
wide receivers were dropping everything. Again, you're throwing a practice squad guys. I know they have some young guys too. I'm talking about the dudes who played on the team last year. A lot of drops. No dependable hands without Travis Kelce. A lot of drops. Mahomes was he was 21 for 39, 266 in INT. That doesn't look like a Mahomes game. It looks pretty bad. I mean, that's probably an average game for like most quarterbacks. But for Mahomes, that's a bad game. But it wasn't necessarily just Mahomes was just inaccurate. It was because the receivers were dropping anything that touched their hands. It's like they weren't wearing gloves last night. And I want to talk about this dude because I've been saying this dude since the trade to Kansas City is not good at football. And everyone tries to tell me that this dude is good. They say I'm dumb. I try to tell all my roommates this last night. This dude isn't good at football. And I tried to tell everybody the other night too who I was watching the game with, this dude isn't good at football. It's Tony. He sucks. Like, he actually sucks. I try to tell people every single time he comes up, he sucks. And it proves me right. 3 drops. NFL player with 3 drops. 4 drops. Literally, Kieran, he catches 1 pass. One of those drops, the Chiefs win. You know how crazy that is? His drops were all of his drops were so game-changing. That's how bad
he literally caused a pick 6.
One of his drops literally went to a pick 6. You take that, he catches that ball. What is that? I'm not saying the Chiefs don't even have to score on that drive. That's -7 off the scoreboard for the Lions. Chiefs probably win that game. Or the other one in the fourth quarter, remember they're driving down the field, down 1. Here comes Mahomes. We all know what Mahomes does, especially at home. You can't let Mahomes be down in a football game with the ball in the fourth quarter. He's kind of like Brady. He's going to win the game. Mahomes, perfect pass to Tony, throws it to the 30-yard line of the Lions. He drops it, puts it perfectly in his basket for field goal range. Chiefs probably win that game too. There's like a minute left on the clock. I was like 2 minutes left on the clock when Tony dropped it. That's a game. That's game. That's ball game. Chiefs bleed clock. Butker game winner.
So I had I questioned like the Chiefs coaching like decisions last night. Like the 3rd and 1 to Pacheco. Do you know what I'm talking about? They should have snuck it in with Mahomes. Like that would have been another possession to that would have been another drive that maybe they can score on. Like they're just being idiots. But so I know with like 2 minutes left. There's like 4th and 25, right?
Yeah, they went for it.
But like my thing is, you have 3 timeouts. Just punt the ball, and maybe you stop. Like the defense has been good all night, in my opinion. They only let up 2 touchdowns, like all night. Just defense. Punt the ball.
Yeah.
Like maybe you get a stop because the Lions' offense didn't really look that good tonight.
They didn't. I mean, I still haven't won the division. We're going to get to the Lions later. We're focusing on the Chiefs, but they didn't look that hot. Little concern for the Lions. I mean, not really. It's just week 1, but they didn't look that hot. But it's week 1, though. But, again, Tooney, Tooney was so bad he actually deleted his Twitter last night. Like, it got so bad. Like,
that dude should not have a phone.
Shouldn't. He probably can't even – you throw his phone at him, probably wouldn't catch it. Like,
I mean, bro, just look at him. He looks like an absolute menace. Like –
menace.
You remember that picture when he's like smiling and he's like, yeah, it's Mahomes. Like it's like, I don't know. Dude's a weirdo.
The Chiefs play calling, I kind of see it. They had that tackle who was just false starting the entire night. It was bad, dude. It was every single snap he would jump. They didn't call it like half the time. But the tackles, they're 2 new tackles. And they were either getting false starts or holding the entire night. That's why they were even in that like 4th and 25. The one play I do want to go back. I forgot when it was, but it was like I think it was 4th quarter. It was a Chiefs like 3rd and 2, and they try to run a trick play with one of their young guys, and the Lions are ready for it. A little jet sweep, I think it was, something like that. It just didn't work. But I mean, Mahomes played fine. I can't knock Mahomes. I'm going to say, Mahomes threw an interception. Went off his receiver's gloves.
I was like, bro, I'm just saying, though, if this was Brady, right? Because I know I've seen a lot of people give Mahomes crap this game. If this was Brady, dude, they'd be like, oh, who are those receivers? Like, bro, it's the same thing.
He's playing with poverty receivers. Kelce needs to come back. Now, I still think this team, Mahomes is so good at making plays. I've never seen a better, maybe other than like Rodgers. You can even say he's better than Rodgers, like at making plays.
Play extension.
I think he could still win with these box of straps. He can still win football games. When Kelsey's not in there, man, this offense is not going to score a lot of points because I don't think they can push the ball down the field like they want to. Because if they get in a third down situation, who is Mahomes going to rely on to get that 3 yards?
Yeah, so like my thing is that I'm not saying Mahomes is going to have this type of season because he's Mahomes, but if you remember 2015 Aaron Rodgers, right? He was missing Jordy Nelson the entire year. He didn't really have like a set wide receiver. His stats, like his like touchdown and interception ratio look good, but on a per throw basis, he was pretty inefficient. I could see that happening for Mahomes this year, but like not to that extent because he will have Kelsey. But like they don't have another guy like Juju that can catch the ball consistently and like keep like the drives like keep going. It's just like I don't know. I like MES, but I don't like him as a number one wideout.
No, he's a wide receiver 3. Let's be real.
He's like a wide receiver 3.
He's not better than like I'm not taking him over like JSN and Tyler Boyd, and those guys are wide receiver 3s on teams. So
yeah,
he's a wide receiver 3.
Yeah, like Sky Moore, I just don't love him. I would give Justin Ross a chance.
Sky Moore caught a touchdown in the Super Bowl, Kieran. Sky Moore's good. Dudes, we're taking Sky Moore in fantasy.
Kadarius Toney, Super Bowl MVP. Look at his kickoff return. No. You crapped on Kadarius Toney, but this is what I've viewed as Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney is always a tease. He's like Derek Carr to me, where he makes a couple of good plays every game, and people just think he's good.
I don't think he's not that good of a receiver. I mean, obviously the drops say so, but there wasn't really much film of me like throughout his career. He was injured, but for me to say like that's a great receiver.
Yeah,
I just see an athletic guy, a dude you'll use in some like maybe as a running role or a dude you throw quick throws to use his athleticism. Not a great receiver.
He reminds me of a worse Debo.
Yes.
Like a way worse Debo.
Way worse. At least Debo's not doing 3 drops, dude. Oh,
I mean, Debo's also the greatest yak player I've ever seen.
Tell Nate Robinson right now. Say, if I was on the Chiefs, I'm not dropping 3 balls.
I should tell him, hey, if Mike Evans was on the Chiefs, he wouldn't drop 3 balls. I'll tell you that.
Hey, at least Mike Evans is good enough to not drop 3 balls. I do want to switch to the Lions before we move off this game. I want to give a little highlight to Jahmyr Gibbs, bro. Jahmyr Gibbs looked good. So Jahmyr Gibbs, very, very limited time. Shout out to Dan Campbell, coach of the year, just not playing Jahmyr Gibbs. Guess Montgomery just, Montgomery did score a touchdown, but I guess Montgomery has like some connection with him or he just doesn't like trust a young running back. Jahmyr Gibbs needs to see the field week 2, 50% snaps easily. I don't want to see any of this 2-snap performance from Jahmyr Gibbs anymore. Jahmyr Gibbs, 42 rushing yards, 34 yards after contact. This is a dude who can break tackles. 6 missed tackles forced. Very elusive. He had one play where it looked like he was going to get stopped, and he took it all the way for a first down. 4.9 yards after contact. Only 7 carries, 42 rushing yards. He was like 7 yards of rush.
I'm pretty sure
16 snaps.
I'm pretty sure Montgomery had like 23 and he had like 75.
He had 21 for 74, 3.5. Not a very efficient running day.
Like, dude, like David Montgomery's just not good.
That touchdown was good. I think that was a good play. He did break a couple tackles to get in. But other than that touchdown, Montgomery was running for like 2 yards a play. I think that touchdown's probably carrying his box score. He was running like 2 yards a play up the middle with a top 5 O-line in the sport. Then here comes Jahmyr Gibbs. Dude, Jahmyr Gibbs looked like he could like go for a first down every single time he touched the ball. It looked like a big play every single time he touched the ball.
Yeah. You know who you remind me of? Jamal Charles. Dude, that first quick step, that contact balance, little bit of Jamal Charles and Alvin Kamara.
As soon as he caught the ball or as soon as he took a rush, I was like, this man is going to go for a big play. 9 yards a catch.
And I was so pissed because I wanted him to score because he's on my fantasy team. But
I know.
No, when he tripped
last night, a lot of fantasy owners last night were probably like so anti Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell probably got like a billion hate tweets last night saying, "Put him back in." What are you doing?
Well, to be fair, I think we knew this about Jahmyr Gibbs. They already said like they're gonna like put him slow in the offense. Yeah, they did. Like the Jaguars did it with ETN last year, so I could see it like being like that. So,
yeah, but I think if the Lions want to get serious about winning this division, they want to make that offense a top 5 offense, kind of like they were last year. Jahmyr Gibbs has to play more than David Montgomery, or at least way more snaps,
or like
than
50
he's getting right now.
Yeah,
way more. When it comes to Goff looked good. But to all the Jared Goff like lovers on their quarterback rankings, Goff didn't look elite. Goff just looked good.
Okay, I'll give him this. He looked good in the first half. I thought he was completely rattled in the second half. There's a couple times where he had time to throw and he just looked rattled. I don't know.
St. Brown's him.
Amon-Ra is goated.
Amon-Ra's good, dude. Like, bro. Amon-Ra's good. That's all I'm going to say on Amon-Ra. He's just good. Like, do I need a football analysis on St. Brown? 6 receptions, 171. Looked unguardable at times for a touchdown. Like, I wanted my fantasy team so bad. I had St. Brown his rookie year. Yeah, that was his rookie year where he was on waivers for like the entire year. And like that last like 5 weeks of the season, he completely popped off. He won me my championship, bro. So I got a lot of love for St. Brown always.
Yeah, I think I know a lot of people think he's going to be a top 10 receiver. I don't know about that high, but I think he can be top like 13.
I think he can push top 10. Like
push. A lot of guys.
There is a lot of guys, but I think St. Brown's on that T. Higgins, Devonta Smith type tier, like that 10 through 15 level receiver.
Yeah,
Metcalf type tier.
Like Amari Cooper. Yeah,
I expect a lot of big things from Amari Cooper, but for the Lions overall, offense looked a bit concerning. Defense didn't look bad. Gardner Johnson, Brian Branch, who I thought should have won the first round. I don't know how the Lions got him in the draft. I always thought he should have won the first round. Gardner Johnson, Branch, defense looked good. Hutchinson, all the new guys. Lions defense looks a bit better than last year. Defense for the Lions these last 2 years have been absolutely atrocious. Got better. I think they have a better defense than the Vikings. I still got them winning this division, but I don't think to all those people that thought the Lions were going to be 12, 13 wins, you were out of your mind, and it showed here. I think they're going to win the division like 10, 11 games. Not bad.
Yeah, I said 10 and 7 in the 3rd seed. So
that's not bad. Not bad at all. Let's go on to hoops. Let's talk some hoops. But you didn't see this game, but I don't think you needed to. Shout out to the NBA also. They always post the highlights to these games. They're like a minute-long highlights. I don't know how I'm supposed to get the footage to this game when I'm watching a minute-long highlights. Thanks, NBA, for posting minute-long highlights. Took the word highlight literal. Literally saw like 2 plays in the entire game. But Team USA, if you don't know already, because everyone's talking about it, we lost, bro.
We're frauds. We're frauds. We're frauds.
Dude. We lost to Lithuania, and I said on the podcast, I was like, we're fine. We're probably still going to win gold, but I can definitely see us losing. And
Bro,
we got an embarrassment, bro.
Bro, at this point, we got to have like Michael Jordan at 60 on our team.
Shout out to everybody, by the way. I had a podcast a couple weeks ago saying Team USA was mid. I had an entire podcast saying Team USA was mid. And everyone was like, dude, you're overreacting. They're still the best team. Blah, 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 bro. They're winning gold still. Dude, chill. I said Team USA was very vulnerable, although I still think they were the best roster. Them in Canada, the best rosters. Team USA had NBA player 1 through 12, I think was on the man roster. But, dude, there was vulnerabilities on this team. So they lost to Germany. They lost to Dennis Schroeder, 113 to 111. They actually lost to Daniel Tice. Jesus Christ, it's embarrassing. Franz Wagner was also on that team.
I think it just shows that like more countries are getting more talent, which could be a good thing.
Yes, and I'm going to get that later because that's what Steve Kerr said. But back to what I was saying about the Team USA roster talent. Obviously, that was the most talented roster per country, but there was a clear flaw in that United States team, and that was their lack of size. Watching those games, the big men of the other teams were absolutely feasting down low. They were out. I think USA, and especially these last like 4 games since they got out of the exhibition and started playing group play and knockout round, they were getting out rebounded by at least like 10 boards every single game. And it was just bad to watch these grown men on the NBA side get out rebounded by scrub NBA centers or foreign non-NBA players just on the glass. The size was a thing. Steve Kerr said this team was very worthy of winning a championship. We just didn't get it done. I mean, I do think they were worthy of winning the championship. They're the best team, but the roster construction was bad. Germany had 12 offensive rebounds, 25 second chance points, 50 points in the paint. You know who's manning that paint, Kieran?
Who?
Defensive Player of the Year, Jaren Jackson Jr. Yes! I could finally not have Jaren Jackson Jr. in my top 25 and people won't be mad. Jaren Jackson got exposed, bro. Let's be honest about Jaren Jackson, bro. He's not all that great. Just not all
offensively, yeah.
He's good. I just don't think he's all that, man. I'm watching these Team USA games, right? Outside of blocking shots, how great of a defender is Jaren Jackson really?
Yeah, chill. You gotta chill. You gotta chill.
What? Daniel Tice, 21-5 on his head. Pound for pound, Jaren Jackson, when he's playing big men, he can't guard these guys pound for pound. He's getting destroyed down low. He can't anchor this paint. Jaren Jackson, I do think, he's a power forward, Kieran. We saw in the playoffs last year, he's not supposed to play center.
I know. I know.
Guard center. He can't rebound center. He's a power forward. He's a power forward, Kieran. Kieran, 19 rebounds in the last 7 games. You went to school. You know how to do math. That's less than 3 rebounds a game, and you're the starting center. It doesn't help, too, that Jaren Jackson Jr. can't play in like half his games because he fouls out within like 3 minutes.
Yeah, he does have a foul problem. Sorry, I'm just laughing.
Let's be honest about Jaren Jackson, bro. Like, I'm not taking, dude. Like, what's that, dude? There's a game where he didn't get a single rebound. I know this is Team USA. Oh, this doesn't count. Team USA, dude. You can't get a rebound in Team USA. You can get a rebound in NBA.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Isaiah Thomas can get a rebound in Team USA.
Oh, so there's no way you got 0, bro. Out rebounded by Tice.
Tice is nice.
Tice, the Celtics legend. Let me see Jaren Jackson's rebound. He's just not a good rebounder. 6 rebounds a game last year.
Yeah, he's never been that great of a rebounder.
I think one of the most underrated parts of defense, actually one of the most important parts of defense, Kieran, and it's why I don't take Jaren Jackson that seriously as a defender, although I still think he's a good defender, as seriously as people like want to say like best defender alive, is rebounding the basketball is one of the most important parts of defense. You want to know how to end a defensive possession? Go up there, jump, grab it, pull it down, outlet, let's go. Back on offense. Jaren Jackson's incapable of doing that, or really just struggles doing that.
Yeah. I mean, I never said Jaren Jackson was I never said he was the best defender, but I think he's like the 4th best defender in the league. Might be.
It is, bro. Like, I mean, I don't say his defensive player of the year is a fluke. I voted him as defensive player of the year because I think he had the best defensive season. But again, like outside of blocking shots, how great a defender is. He can't rebound the ball well. He can't guard a real center.
He's a very good roamer and help defender.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if he's a power forward and he doesn't have the responsibility guarding the real center, he can roam. And I think a lot of his block shots come from just roaming the paint. I think he can roam in blocking shots.
Well, I think Jaren Jackson, I think his height has always been an issue.
He's not a center.
But I will say this. I think he's a good rim protector, but I just don't think he's on the level of a guy like AD or even like or Gobert that people
make. He's not a center. He's not a center. He's a good shot blocker, but again, I don't think unless he's in a roaming position, I don't think he's that great of a rim protector.
No, he's a good rim protector in my opinion. I think there was a couple I think the Team USA was like a bad game to like actually show his rim protection because I've been watching some of the games. He looked kind of questionable, but
yeah, again, I just think he might. If there was a true center there, like Steve Kerr, I don't know, wake up, Steve Kerr, maybe be on the overrated list soon. Just don't play Walker Kessler when you need a center in a game. What are we doing, Steve Kerr? Like Bobby Portis getting center minutes. What are we doing? Banchero getting center minutes when you have a true center on the bench. You're getting eaten alive by Daniel Tice and a bunch of German guys who haven't stepped foot in the NBA.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, again, like the Grizzlies, especially as like in the Lakers series, Jaren Jackson's defensive impact is much greater when he's as a power forward and playing next to a center, allowing him to roam, not playing the best big man. But when you force him as a center at 6'10", he can't rebound the basketball. He's not bigger than the guy he's guarding. Now he can't roam and come in and play help and block shots. His impact goes way down. And how impactful as a defender can you be when you're not even on the damn court because you fouled out?
Yeah. I don't know. I think Bam somewhat has this issue too. I think people don't understand, especially in that like Nuggets series. I felt like Bam's height was a question because, I mean, it is Jokic, right? But like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Bam's also in that situation too, where I think his versatility and I think he's a bit better as more of like he just can't guard like a true center. They're just not big enough.
Yeah. Now Draymond's an exception.
Draymond's just one of the best defenders to ever play this game. So,
I mean, he plays bigger than his actual height. So,
hey, guard LeBron, man. You guard LeBron.
Own LeBum. So yeah,
he owns LeBum. But yeah, back to Jaren Jackson. Just close it out. Summarize Jaren Jackson before we go into what you were talking about earlier about teams overseas just getting better and USA just isn't the best team. But like again, when it comes to Jaren Jackson, how good of a player is he really, especially on the defensive side of the ball? I get the shot blocking for Jaren Jackson is really good. I get that. I vote him as defensive player of the year. But when he slides in that center spot, he no longer looks like defensive player of the year. No longer does. He just no longer like I said, Daniel Tice, 21-5 on his head. Daniel freaking Tice, dude. Daniel Tice.
Hey,
pound. Move Jaren Jackson in the center spot. He can't guard a center.
I will
19
say this.
rebounds in the last 7 games.
He looked pretty good on Anthony Davis. So,
Kieran, like I said, Kieran, you're a college level student. Do that quick math. 19 divided by 7, less than 3 rebounds a game. Starting center.
He's washed. Sad.
Do people not understand when it comes to defense, rebounding is important? How are you supposed to play center if you can't grab a ball?
It definitely matters, and
rebounding for sure matters.
I mean,
you want to get off. You want to not play defense anymore. The best way to not play defense is to go up there and grab the basketball. Jaren Jackson is just incapable of grabbing the basketball.
I mean, why do you think the Grizzlies struggled in that Lakers series? They couldn't grab rebounds.
Couldn't, because Jaren Jackson's not that great of a rebounder.
I mean, when you also have Anthony Davis, I get it, but still.
Yeah, and Jaren Jackson, how much impactful is he really when he's not even on the court? Because you're 3 minutes into the basketball game, you already have to sub him out because he has 2 fouls.
Yeah, his foul trouble is kind of an issue.
He fouled out already of many of these Team USA games. But yeah, with like Jaren Jackson, again, like back to him, power forward slot, playing next to a center. He can roam more. His shot blocking value goes up. He's not guarding a Nikola Jokic type center. He plays somebody more his size. Then that's how impactful Jaren Jackson is. You put him as a center. He has to play the real center. He can't just roam because he has to play that big man pound for pound. He can't out-rebound that center. He can't roam. He can't help side shot block. He can't do any of that. So he's not that valuable as much as he would be defensively. But I want to go real quick before you go on to Joe Burrow's contract. Let's talk to your comment earlier because Steve Kerr said that. Steve Kerr said after the loss that this isn't 1992 anymore, and I truly believe that. Overseas guys are just getting better, Kieran. They just are. 1992 Dream Team, if you know anything about that, well, the Olympics is different than FIBA. I'll make this clear, but we were still having a similar success in FIBA where we were sending our best players. And I think that's a misconception a lot of people have with FIBA is these last 2 years kind of have people like thinking FIBA is different. We were still sending top 10 players to FIBA when we started sending pros to FIBA for anybody out there. But it's just the same with FIBA. Like back in the day, 92 especially, foreign players would take pictures with us after the game. They were in awe of Michael Jordan and the players we would send over. Now, dude, no Lithuanian's going to be like, oh, my God, Austin Reeves, what am I going to do? No one's saying that anymore. It's not 1992 anymore. Let's face it.
Yeah.
We got to build – we got to start sending our better guys. We got to.
As like it's like in the NBA, right? There's evolution to this, right? You know, like we've seen there's a lot like the league is way deeper now than it was back in 1992. I think we're seeing that over the world as well.
It's over the world too. Like we can't no longer get away with sending our B team guys. Gone are the days that we can send Bobby Portis to win gold. We can't do that anymore, dude, because their countries are sending their best players. Some of the other countries had better players on their team than we did. They're sending their best players while we're sending our B team guys. We got to tell our best players, yo, it's get off your beach, put down your cigar, put down your Corona, get out of that pool. Now come play for us during the summertime, or else we're going to be an embarrassment because these other teams, we're letting Germany win gold. Meanwhile, we're over here, been playing basketball since 1950, and we're getting smoked now.
I mean, just look at the top 5 players in the NBA. 4 of them are not American.
Yes. We also are getting out physicaled by these teams. Our big men are getting smaller, whereas their big men are pushing 7 feet, strong, big. And our big men, our centers, are Jaren Jackson, slim, 6'10", non-centers who are more versatile hybrids than an actual center. We're getting out physical when we go overseas. We can't dominate these teams. We're not out shooting teams like we used to. Yeah, these teams are hitting threes just as, if not better than us.
Yeah, because I feel like USA is trying to make it like NBA basketball. Like it's way different like over there.
And we're still we're getting better. We're getting better at it, but I think we're still in over our heads where we're just sending guys. We need to start sending actual teams, not just guys, actual teams that fit a role, guys who can actually rebound the basketball and make shots.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like not 1992 anymore. Oh, that like 2014 FIBA team, Kyrie, Boogie, Steph, Harden. Now, maybe that Paul George injury, I think a lot of people are going to play devil's advocate and say that Paul George leg snapping injury kind of just shied stars away from ever playing in this game. I mean, dude, Paul George rehabbed for a year on some summer exhibition USA game. I don't think a star would want to rehab for a year. Yeah. But what are we going to do, Kieran? Time to call the Avengers. Nick Fury, get on the phone. Beep, 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 beep. LeBron. Yo. Stop going to Saudi Arabia, LeBron. Pull up. Let's go. Beep, beep. Kevin Durant. Let's go. Like, come on.
Yo, Nate Robinson. I know you got owned by Kieransports, but we need you.
Nate Robinson, wake up from your coma that Jake Paul put you in. Wake up. Kieran's about to put him in another coma too when this Kieran boxing match goes live on pay-per-view on HBO. Kieran versus Nate Robinson. Kieran, you're going to get in the best shape of your life in 6 months. You're going to be up there jacked, shredded. Are you taller than Nate Robinson? I mean, it's a low bar, but.
I'm 6'2".
Oh, okay. Oh, you're almost taller than me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. LeBron, though, this is interesting. LeBron liked a post from ESPN. ESPN put out a graphic after Team USA lost, showing all of our best players, like what our roster would look like if we actually send the best Americans. And LeBron liked it and put like the eye emoji.
Mm-hmm.
Could we see in 2024, could this loss trigger the rest of the NBA to wake up and say, let's make the best Olympic team that we can? Dude, Steph, Booker, KD, Braun, AD 5. Then like Tatum, Dame off the bench. Anthony Edwards stays. I love Anthony Edwards now. He's on the team.
Yeah.
That roster, dude. I guess you want to throw in Jimmy Butler. I mean, I wouldn't even put Jimmy Butler on the team. You know what Jimmy Butler? I think Jimmy Butler said he didn't care about FIBA or whatever. Like he's not watching. Okay, Jimmy. But that roster would actually
he's a little
win.
weird.
Like,
he's a little weird.
He's a little weird. That roster would win by 30. We would put the fear in God in the teams, dude.
Yeah, Steph, and then backup point guard Damian Lillard, Devin Booker, and then I don't think Paul George wants to be there again, but Donovan Mitchell.
The problem is, and you said it earlier, one of the biggest issues why our rosters will never look as good as the Dream Team or even like a 2008 Redeem Team. Our rosters still look really good. The biggest reason why is that if we're trying to pull our top 15 players down from the NBA, not all the top 15 NBA players are going to play on Team USA.
Yeah, that's true.
Luka, SGA's playing Canada. Embiid, I mean, I heard Embiid has United States citizenship, so he can technically play for Team USA. I don't know, it's a little weird, but Embiid's probably not going to play. Jokic won't play. So our top 10 guys, half of them aren't even American. So even the Avengers that we're going to assemble won't even be that hard, but I would love to see a Steph, Booker, LeBron, KD, AD lineup just destroy Lithuania, destroy Germany.
We're scoring 200 points.
Yeah. We'll score. LeBron might get 100 points, unlike Wilt. So there we go.
We'll actually see it happen.
We'll actually get maybe a photograph of 100 points scored in a game.
No. The funny thing, all you need to do is pass it to LeBron or LeBron be the point guard. Put Steph as a shooting guard, and just make Steph score all the time so he scores 100.
And then run Warriors offense. Like put LeBron in a Draymond role, Steph off screens, Anthony Davis setting illegal screens back door. Could make it work. Let's talk Joe Burrow contract before we end the show. Okay, so Joe Burrow, 5 years, $275 million, hit last night. He's been working for a while. We didn't know when it was going to hit. Was it going to hit week 1? And it did. Joe Burrow, 5 years, $275 million with $219 guaranteed. Kieran, if I had this money, I'd go crazy. Highest paid player in NFL history. Feel like we say that to like a new guy every month, but Joe Burrow, highest paid player in the NFL. But there might be some implications because of this contract. Small market Cincinnati shoving out a lot of money to a singular player. T. Higgins, not even close to a contract extension. What are the implications to this Joe Burrow contract?
I can tell you two things. T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd are not going to be on the team next year.
We're already seeing their defense slowly. Jesse Bates gone. We're seeing some guys go away. Now, I still think their defense is good. I mean, Logan Wilson got a steal contract. Their defense is still pretty good. But Jesse Bates gone last offseason. Oh, this offseason, technically. Could this – well, first of all, do you like the contract? I don't think you're going to disagree with the contract.
Okay. So I've always said this. I agree that, like, quarterbacks should get their money. I do. I think Deshaun Watson's contract is stupid. So the way that Joe Burrow got his contract is completely fine. I don't think quarterbacks should get fully guaranteed money, which is stupid. So, yes, this is a good deal. Joe Burrow
wasn't
deserves
full.
his money.
Who got fully guaranteed? Was that Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, it was Deshaun Watson.
Off a suspension, by the way.
Off of not playing a year of football, by the way.
You know how laughable that is? Brought all that controversy and still got $200 million.
It's like 275. I was like, who does that? Like,
yeah, but Joe Burrow, I do think first he does deserve his contract. I mean, when you the first overall pick, you're back-to-back AFC championships. Joe Burrow's under center with those weapons. You're a walking AFC championship now, it looks like. So, deserves some money, especially when the market says so.
So,
but,
Mike,
yeah,
the reason why I think T. Higgins and Boyd are going to leave is they haven't paid Jamar Chase yet. They still have to pay him.
And they're going to pay Jamar Chase. They
have to. They have to.
When they do, it's probably going to be what? Most receiver money in the league?
Like, his ceiling is the best receiver in the league, and I've said that since he's been drafted. Like,
his ceiling is one of the greatest. His ceiling, by the way, is one of the greatest receivers ever. I
agree. Yeah, it's him and Justin Jefferson.
Yes.
Those two guys, we could potentially see them as top 15 wide receivers one day.
Ever, yes, that's their ceiling. But go ahead.
So my thing is that yes, they deserve their money, but that's a lot of capital on two players on offense. It's a lot of money. You're gonna be paying Chase like $30 million a year too. So
they can still. I know the thing is that they just haven't paid Chase yet, and I want to see I need to see more reports on where T. Higgins' head is at. Yeah, because T. Higgins is putting up pretty much. T. Higgins is a wide receiver one. Let's be real. Just playing as a wide receiver too. He can go to like half the NFL. No, he can go to like 75% of the NFL and be the best wide receiver on the team. So he's going to be wanting wide receiver number one money. I don't think the Bengals, especially if they have to pay Chase, everyone else just paid Burrow, I don't think they could give him what other teams want to give him. Now, I think T. Higgins, in an ideal world, if he would have gotten his money, I think he would be a Bengal. I don't think T. Higgins would. Some people, they just want to be a wide receiver number one and be in the situation, get all those yards. I think T. Higgins enjoys being a Bengal, likes having Burrow as his quarterback, likes winning, likes Cincinnati. I think he wants to stay, but also the money ties in too. I think Cincinnati can pay T. Higgins, but I don't think they can outbid some of the other teams that are out there. And I think that's probably why T. Higgins hasn't gone to a contract yet. Maybe he's waiting on Chase, but also it's like, there might be other teams out there who can give me $10 million more. I don't know.
They might put like a non-exclusive offer on him. They might place a tender on him so he's there for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Because like he can't get like a 5th-year option. That's just not happening. Like, I don't know. It's gonna be really hard to keep Higgins and Boyd. They have to keep one of them, and like
Boyd's definitely gone.
Boyd is gone. Boyd is gone. Like, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to keep Higgins. Like, I don't know. And that's my one other issue, right? Like, this Bengals team is really good now. But, like, in 2 years, it could be just a mid-team, in my opinion.
It's in 3 years, it's going to be Burrow and Chase and whoever they still have left on that team. That's still a pretty good starting point to build around. That's a foundation that can last 10 years.
I agree. I mean, when you have a quarterback and wide receiver duo, just think of all of them all time. Like Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams contended like every year. Big Ben and Antonio Brown contended every year. Marvin Harrison, Peyton Manning, they all contend. So yeah, you can like contend every year with those guys. But if you don't have the team around them, you're not going to win a Super Bowl.
Well, Mahomes, Kelsey.
That is true. But they also had Andy Reid. They also had a defense.
They also had Chris Jones.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I think if T. Higgins does stay as a Bengal, it would have to be below his market price.
Mm-hmm.
He might have to swallow a couple $1 million to stay as a Bengal. The Bengals can make it work. It just wouldn't be what some other teams could give him. Yeah. And that would be T. Higgins' decision. I think that's why he's taking a while.
Mm-hmm.
But we're pushing an hour, Kieran, and I got nothing else to talk about. I got some art history homework that I need to get in. Why do I have to take art history? I don't know. It's a class. I have to take one of these classes. It's a general education class I got to take.
I took that sophomore year.
This dude, I'm snoozing in it.
Stupid.
But I have to do my homework I actually had to take a quiz after I do this homework too. So that's why today we actually still did an hour. We did longer than I wanted to go, but that's good. That means we're talking for an hour. No dead time.
Good content. Good content.
Excellent content. Well, thank you everyone for tuning into episode 61 of the Some Casual Takes podcast. Shout out to everyone who watched this live on Twitch, and thank you to the YouTube videos you're tuning. Our YouTube views are going up, so shout out to everybody who's watching on YouTube. Shout out to Kieran. His TikTok will be always like it is in the description. You want to check out his page. Follow all my social media, Some Casual Takes, the handle. Especially follow Instagram because you might run into Nate Robinson in the comment section. Stay updated on all things related to the show. Next show should be Monday at roughly 11 to 12. I usually do in the morning before class. We're going to talk about – it depends. If anything crazy happened in the NFL week, I could make that show later to have more people on. Because now everyone has school. So, like, my Monday schedule is like I have middle of the day classes, like 1 o'clock, 2, 3. My whole mornings are open. But I can't do a pod too late because I can't talk about what happened Sunday afternoon on a Monday night. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna try to see because if this weekend's amazing and a lot of headlines came, I want to get people on here and talk. But I got to build around the school schedule. We'll see. And always make sure you turn on notifications. This is for the live audience, by the way. I guess YouTube audience doesn't really know. You have YouTube notifications. Make sure you turn on notifications just to make sure when the show goes live. But until Monday, thank you, Kieran.
Yeah.
See you guys